Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Thank you so much that you tuned into our channel. We really do appreciate that. As you know, we are an NPO on this channel. We talk about strengthening the economies of Africa. It is a documented fact that sub-Saharan economies are under-industrialized, which means that we don't have enough industries, enough factories. We are not producing the bulk of what we use on a daily basis. We import it. Now, there's nothing wrong with imports. We would also love to export some things. We would love other people to import what we are able to export. But my firm belief is that we should be producers of what we consume on a daily basis, of what we use daily, especially if we have the means and the ability to produce it. Because as long as we are importing what we are able to produce, we are giving over opportunities to another economy to produce for us, and then they export. We are a market for them. They are strengthening their economies. They are creating wealth. They are creating jobs for their people. That is why they have low unemployment rate. And in Africa, it is documented that all of Africa, 50% of the population of Africa is living below the breadline. We will pull them up by creating wealth, and we create wealth through manufacturing. So largely on this channel, we talk about business opportunities, but we focus mainly on manufacturing. And today we are talking about opportunities in Nigeria, the mighty Nigeria with over 200 million people. We're talking about opportunities. It is recorded that in Nigeria, up to 500,000 students graduate from university every year. And when they graduate, then they get ready to start life on their own. They move out of their parents' home and start life on their own. And so they will need accommodation to start with. What do they need in their places, in their flats, as they move into a place of their own? They need furniture. So that means that up to 500,000 people, at least 500,000 people need new furniture yearly. They will need sheets, they will need bedding, they will need towels, they will need curtains, they will need kitchen, stuff in the kitchen like cutlery, crockery, pots, and stuff like that. Instead of importing this, let us make them locally, because this is a ready market, ready annual market of 500,000 people. They will need TV sets, and I firmly believe that things like TV sets, telephone, cell phone, laptop, we should be able to make these ourselves. We have enough electrical engineer, and quite frankly, it does not even take an electrical engineer to do these things. For a start, we can import the parts and then assemble them. Just think of the opportunities that we are missing. How many people are using cell phones? Almost every adult, almost every teenager up to an adult has got a cell phone of some sort, whether it's a smartphone or not. For a start, let us assemble them, then later on we can make them. I'm saying this because I'm encouraged and inspired by my 15-year-old nephew who assembled his own PC. He went online, googled how to do it, watched videos, and he is using his own PC that he has assembled himself. What more about a university graduate who has responsibility? What more about adults who have a family to take care of? Instead of importing so many phones, so many laptops, so many TV sets, let us make them. The same thing with the appliances in the kitchen. Electric kettle, electric iron. These 500,000 people that graduate, they need them. Let us make them. For a start, we can assemble them, but with time, excuse me, with time, this is something that we can make locally. We have electrical engineers, and to make an electrical iron, it is not a big deal for an electrical engineer. And even these 500,000 people that graduate, some of them, instead of thinking of looking for a job, how about becoming the one that is making furniture? How about becoming the one that is assembling that TV set? How about the one that is making cutlery, making pots? How about the one that is making sheets, making towels, making curtains, creating employment for yourself and other people, instead of bewailing the fact that there are no jobs in Africa? I think we need to change our mindset. Become the creators of wealth. Become the creators of jobs instead of looking for jobs. Just imagine if 500,000 people that graduate from university will take up entrepreneurship, create jobs for themselves and 3 other people. And that will be four people that are employed in each factory. That will be 2 million people. If these 2 million people that are employed annually take care of other two people, that is 3 people living on the salary of 2 million people, that is 6 million people. I firmly believe that we can solve our problems, or our small businesses can go a long way towards creating wealth, creating employment, and solving our unemployment, and lifting many from below the breadline. The other opportunity that exists in Nigeria is up to 42 million people are 15 years and beneath 15. They're 0 up to 15. Where are they? They are in school. What do they need? They need exercise books. Stationery making is one area, one opportunity, one area of opportunities that exist. And we are talking mainly about small manufacturing opportunities of up to 50,000 US dollars. And we can import machinery. China is making machinery, small manufacturing machinery. You can start small, even if you don't supply the whole country. There are just way too many. Even if you start with one of the 36 states, just one state, or even if you don't have enough to start and supplying stationery to the whole state, just 5-6 counties within the state. And some states have like 5 million, other like 2 million. But you can still make very good money supplying stationery and making exercise books like this one that I'm having in my hand, where I've written some of the things. It's a very simple procedure. Some of the manufacturing things that we are importing that we could make. The technical process is very simple, and we can make these things our own. Making an exercise book, you just take an A4 paper, draw lines on both sides, stack them up maybe 20-30, put a hard paper beneath them, staple them in the middle, fold it over. It is so simple. Excuse me. And in the process, you can make a lot of money. And what else do they need? If you have a book, an exercise book, you need to write on it. You need pen. We can make pens. Let us make how to make these things. And most of them, the information is readily available online. You just Google how to do these things. We'd rather import some of the things that we don't have for a start, but with time we can also make them. Let us learn how to make that ink that makes a pen. If we don't have the ingredients, we'd rather import the ingredients but make the ink ourselves and make the pen ourselves. What else do they need? They need school uniform. Make school uniform. You can make good money from that. They need shoes, school shoes. And with school shoes, they also need socks. You can make money just from making socks. Just import 1 or 2 machines to make socks, school socks, and then you sell them within your state. You can make very good money from that. Just 1 or 2 machines of making socks. And of course, you will not only limit yourself to school socks, you'll also make socks for men and other people and stuff like that. What else do they need? They need school bags. You can make money from school bags. Starting within your state, with just supplying schools within your state or certain counties within your state. You can make good money from there for a start, and then later on maybe you can grow to supply the whole state or 2, 3 other states. There are opportunities, and by not producing what we need, we are giving these opportunities to other people. We are making other people wealthier. We are strengthening their economies instead of strengthening our own economies. They are creating jobs instead of us creating jobs for our people. And also the other area, it is the babies. Childbirth in Nigeria is 36.44 children per 1,000 people. That translates into 7.6 million children that are born yearly. What do they need? They need clothing, they need bedding, they need clothes, they need toys. Nigeria imports toys. I'm not against imports, but the bulk of what we are using, let us be the ones. It cannot be difficult to make toys, to make educational toys. Make them for your state, for 2, 3 states, and if you happen to make more, let us also be the net exporters of toys and children's food, what the children need. The other area of opportunities that exist is there is a growing middle class. And what do they need? They like to play in the water. One of the things that they need, they like to play in the water. Let us make the boats. Let us make the speed boats. There's a young child there, and I say kudos to her, in Ghana that has made a water bicycle. They can also be used for sports. Let us be the makers of those water bicycles instead of importing them. And let us be the ones that make speedboats. We would rather import the engine just for a start. Worst time, we have enough engineers in Nigeria. Worst time, we should also be able to make those engines. Let us be the ones that take up these opportunities instead of importing these things. Let us benefit from them, because as long as we import, we give somebody else the opportunity to make money. Let us be the ones that make them. And with that goes the safety vests. That is another area of opportunity where we can make this safety vest, so that should something happen, should they fall into the water, they will not drown, they will float. That is another area. The other area is Nigeria imports cosmetics and toiletries and fragrances. These things are very easy to make. Let us be the ones that make them. Let us take up these opportunities instead of giving them to somebody else. Let us increase production in these areas. And let us support one another. Ghana, Mali, and other areas, they're producing shea butter. Let us support one another in the area, import them and make toiletries, make cosmetics from this. And you just go online. Whatever opportunities resonates with you or with your passion, you just go online, watch videos how to make soap. We cannot be the net importers of soap. How to make soap, how to make toiletries, and let's make these things locally. And as we do, we strengthen manufacturing. We are known in Sub-Sahara to be under industrialized, but we are the ones that are going to industrialize our economies. Let us take up these opportunities, and please let us not say, but there is no electricity. There is no electricity, I know, It's like in South Africa. But let Nigeria be the net, the producer of engines, those engines that make electricity. The quiet ones are much better. Instead of be the ones that import them, let us be the net producer. If there's a problem, let us not wait for somebody else to solve it. Let us come up with the solutions and let us be the partakers. Let us partake in the benefits of that. Instead of importing the engines, the generators, let us be the active ones, active participants in making the generators, benefiting from that, instead of another country, another engineer somewhere else benefiting. Let the benefits stay with us. The bulk of the benefits, let them stay with us within the country, and let us learn to make money circulate within a country, within a region, and within the continent much longer before it leaves the continent and goes elsewhere. Because we are the ones who take up entrepreneurship. We are the ones who strengthen our economies. Soap, toiletries, children's foods, children's clothing, even clothing for adults, and shoes. Nigeria cannot import shoes, be the net importer of shoes. Just think of the opportunities that are missed. 200 million people, we should be the ones that make shoes. We'd rather import leather if there's not enough of it. We'd rather import leather, but let us be the net makers of shoes and benefit from that economy, from that opportunity, instead of passing it on to another person elsewhere in another country and giving the benefits of creating wealth to them. We speak a lot about manufacturing because manufacturing does produce many millionaires. It does take an economy and transform it into a middle or higher income economy. It does create jobs. All over Africa, we need jobs. The fact that 50% of our people live below the breadline is because of the scarcity of jobs. But we are the ones to create these jobs. And we go through them country by country. Because if we were to talk about them in general in Africa, we would not do each economy in each country justice, because there will be some that are common, like food and beverages, but there will be some that are a specific comparative advantage to a particular country. We've spoken about these ones, and the other ones that we could get from desktop's research. It is I had to write them down. There's so many. Food and beverages, we talked about that. It is curry production. Curry, it's a staple food made from cassava. It's a staple food. If it is staple food, you can imagine it means that the volumes consumed are high. So there's room for more people. So that's the other one. And liquid soap, we talk about making soap and shoemaking, tiger nuts processing and making a tiger nut drink. Also, hibiscus drink is, I believe, it's also called zobo. Making that, it is another opportunity that exists. Palm oil production. We know that Nigeria is the 5th largest producer of palm oil, but there is still room because of the size of the market. There is still room for new entrants in palm oil production. Furniture production, we talked about. Bread, going into a bakery, making bread, baking bread. Just think of the opportunities that you are missing. Well, there are some that people making bread, you're not importing bread, but because of the sheer size of the market, there is still room for new entrants in that. Sesame oil production, it's another area where where opportunities exist. Yam flour production, there's a lot of yam in West Africa. Milling it, yam flour production, wig making, anything that has to do with a lady and beautifying a lady, it is usually classified as recession proof. wig making. Instead of importing them, let us also make them. I know there's some that are making them. Also, ice cream production and ice block, because of the weather, it's very hot up there. Ice cream is another area, and not only replicating the usual flavors, experimenting with something new, something innovative, something that can earn you, that can get you more clients rather than the usual, that can set you apart from the rest and make you different, and therefore attract more people, attract more customers. Fertilizer production, making sweets and candy and stuff like that. When it comes to food and beverages, really, the permutations are many. They are as many as our ability to think creatively. That sauce that your family loves, commercialize it. Instead of sharing the recipe with other people, commercialize it and make money from that. And as we improve or increase our food and beverages, that also gives rise to packaging, to opportunities in packaging. Because whatever sauce, whatever salad cream, whatever salad dressing you make, you are going to need to put it in a container. Somebody can make plastic or glass containers, and then you need to put labels on it. You can make money from just making labels for other businesses. And then we need to transport it to where the end consumer can get it. We package it in boxes that can give rise to opportunity in paper and boxes, making packaging boxes. And then that also gives rise to opportunities in logistics, transportation and logistics. And as transportation and logistics grows, as we transport our things, we need to ensure them. Should something happen between the factory and the end consumer market, we need to know that we are insured. We're insured and we will get our stock back. So one form of business gives rise to other spin-off businesses. So that was sweets and beverages, and then there's also opportunities in cake productions and in chalk. Chalk goes with school, of course. 42% of the children that are 15 years and younger, they are in school. They are taught, the teachers need to write on the board. They need chalk production and milk processing. Nigeria imports dairy products. What we consume on a daily basis, I really do believe that the bulk of it we have to make it. Making butter, making yogurt, making cheese, these are very simple processes. The technical process of making these things are very, very simple. If there's not enough milk, then that gives rise also to somebody farming with cows, while we can still import others. But these are the opportunities that exist, because wherever there is a gap, where there's not enough of something, that gap means that it's an opportunity. Nigeria also imports eggs. Can understand there are a lot of people, but at the same time, that gives rise to farming, to farming with chickens. And instead of importing more of eggs, take advantage of that gap that exists. Farm with go into poultry farming and supply the market with eggs. There's also an opportunity for building blocks and bricks production. And we know that building blocks and bricks, they are used for building, they go with building. The other spin-off opportunities from that will be ceramic tiles, making or producing ceramic tiles, having a factory that makes ceramic tiles. If you don't know, if you like it, it resonates with you, just go online, search how to make it, produce them, and making wooden floors. And also, as people build houses, because bricks is for building houses, let us be the net makers of bathroom sets. Instead of importing them, let us be the ones that make it. That bathtub, that shower, all the things that we need in a shower, that basin, that toilet set. Let us be the net makers of those. There is, just imagine the size of the market that exists. And if we import them, how much we are losing, the benefits, the opportunities, the money that we are giving away to another economy instead of making these things ourselves. Nigeria also imports honey. That to me says that there is a market, there is an opportunity to go into bee farming with bees, beehiving and making honey. Instead of giving somebody this opportunity, let the locals also benefit from the opportunities that exist. Beehiving, bee farming with bees and making and processing honey. Also spices. Nigeria imports spices. I say let's go into spices. That gives rise to somebody farming with herbs that are needed to make spices. You can forward integrate, or you can sell to somebody, and somebody can go into making spices business. Just think of the number of people and the meals, 2-3 meals that we, let's say 2, because we usually wouldn't need spices for breakfast. The 2 meals that you cook every single day, there's a need to add spices. Instead of importing them, let us benefit from this. And you as a manufacturer, you're not the only one that benefits. You employ 2-3 other people, they benefit. They get a salary, they take care of their children, they also benefit from that. The economy benefits. It may seem like you as an individual employing 2-3 other people, you're not doing a lot. But if 500,000, if 1,000,000 people do that, 4 million people will soon be employed. If these 4 million people are employed, they take care of 3 other people. That is 4 people live on a salary of 1 person. 16 million people are raised up from below the breadline. If we do that, after 10 years, that is even a lot. If 16 million people can live well, after 10 years, that is 160 million. Let us change our mindsets. Instead of leaving school, leaving the university with the mindset of looking for a job, become the one that starts that job. You may start small and grow with time. Let us change our mindset. And that is why we have a mini book that we have written on changing our mindset and developing an entrepreneurial mindset. We will have the link to that ebook it will be in the pinned comment in the comment section. Please do click on that. It is Smashwords. Do click on that Smashwords link and download a copy of your ebook. We need to change our mindset to become entrepreneurs, particularly in manufacturing. And as we become entrepreneurs, we are solving the bulk of our problems within our countries and within the continent, and we can make this continent great. And Nigeria has got so much potential. There's so much potential in that country, but it's operating beneath it. The other area, it is in finance and in insurance. We touched briefly on insurance when we were talking about transporting the goods, but there are opportunities in insurance and in finance, opportunities in pension houses. As more and more people get jobs, as we create jobs, there's a need to put money aside for pension houses, insurance for the future, medical insurance, medical aid. Now, medical insurance will grow much quicker than medical aid. Medical aid is a bit expensive all over the world. But we see it in when we watch Nigerian movies, where they always want 100,000 nairas before they admit you into a private hospital. There are solutions to that. Medical insurance is a solution. I was on one. You register with them. They have several options, from the basic ones to the ones that pay a little bit more, but of course they never pay as much as medical aid, but they also include hospital stay. You register with them, you become a member, you pay your monthly premium, they give you a card, and then you download their app. When you need to go to a doctor, visit a doctor, or go to a hospital or dentist or whatever, you just go on that app and you enter your information and what you intend to do. Within minutes, the money is in your account. You've got a card and you've got a PIN number with that. But you must swipe it at the doctor's office. You swipe it at the doctor's office, and then for verification later on, the doctor must give you, or the hospital, they must give you an invoice on their letterhead with the doctor's practice number, and then they verify that number to check if that person is really a registered doctor. And then it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. That thing of 100,000 naira, it has a solution. It is medical insurance. And in the process, it can employ many people. It can create employment for many people. In a small country like South Africa, I'm aware of 4 of such. Imagine now in a bigger country with more people. There could be many of them, probably 10, 15, 20, and many people employed, and many becoming millionaires in the process, because there is so much potential in that country. We just need to take up these. And then there's these opportunities. There are other opportunities in handbag making and potato chips. I saw a video of one state where they make a lot. They produce a lot of potatoes, and then they export them outside the country and to other states. But they can also go into forward integration, making potato chips, dried chips, and stuff like that, and all sorts of snacks that you can make from potatoes. Potatoes are very versatile. And then there's opportunities in coconut oil production. And coconut oil is very versatile. It's got many different uses. Can be used for cooking, used in cosmetics, also very good, because it's a very good it goes deep into the skin. It absorbs deep into the skin, so it's very good, and it also has health benefits. And then there are opportunities also in diaries. Can make money by just making diaries, especially like this one, small one. Especially if at the end, at the bottom, you can have some inspirational message, and then you can supply the corporate world with these diaries. Even individuals, they would need them. The opportunities in that, and that would go along with desk calendars and year planners, and also whiteboard for meetings, board meetings, and workshops and stuff like that. And the pens, that corky pen that you use to write on, instead of importing them, let us be the ones that make them. Also, while talking about the corporate, also corporate wear, corporate care, and also small gifts, and that can also go with university, making corporate gear. And also for university, every now and then there will be an event and they need something, and they need their branding on that, either the t-shirts, the caps, or whatever, and the pens. And the finance sector, we have talked about that. There is a vast opportunity that exists in that, the finance. And sneakers, let us be the ones that make them. Just imagine the size of the market. And the other area, it is sportswear. We all know the Super Eagles, that they are strong, which means that soccer is a very good, is a very well supported sports in Nigeria. If we are going to be strong in it, also let us benefit from it. Make the those boots, those soccer boots, and sportswear of all sorts for all different kinds of sports that are popular. Let us make them internally within the country. That's another opportunity. If golf is played, usually the middle class like playing it. Golf clubs, instead of importing golf clubs, let us be the one that manufacture them locally and benefit. If we are going to use something, let us also benefit from it financially instead of just giving the benefits to another country elsewhere. I'm not against importation, but let us not be the net importers, especially if we have the means to make them. And if we use it to a large extent, let us also be the benefit from it. Let us reap the financial benefit of what we are using instead of just giving away opportunities to somebody else. The ordinary clothes that we wear on a daily basis, not like a high fashion, let us be the ones that make them. Burkina Faso is now spinning and making textile from their own cotton. Let us support one another in the region. H&M and Zara are now importing from Burkina Faso. Let us also support one another in the region. Import material from them, but let us make the clothes locally. All these baby clothes, children clothes that we're talking about, let us make them locally. Make them, create employment and benefit financially from it. Many can become millionaires if just enough of us we take up these existing opportunities and say enough is enough. We also want to benefit from them. Many are going to become millionaires. Manufacturing has been found to make many millionaires. Ladies' clothing and ladies' shoes, let us make those locally. Wedding cakes and wedding gowns and anything that has to go with weddings. Let us also be the ones that make them. Tomato sauce. Instead of exporting tomatoes and then importing tomato paste, let us be the ones that make them. China is making small machinery, relevant machinery. Let us import the small machinery, start small and make tomato paste and make sun-dried tomatoes are very nice and they are a premium product. Those ones are very simple to make, but of course you need to cut them half, just cut it in half, pour a little sugar, salt on top, and leave it to dry in the sun. Sun-dried tomatoes, let us make jams, peanut butter, sauces. We've talked about some of those, food thickeners, and dried fruits. But Nigeria is a net importer of fruits. I would say there's a space. There's a space to go into fruit farming, or at least import and dry them. Fruit. Let us also make our toothpaste. We cannot wake up in Africa and brush our teeth in the morning with toothpaste that was made elsewhere and shipped down to us. We'd rather import the ingredients, but let us make it locally. And the information is readily available on the internet. You just go on the internet and search how to make toothpaste, and then search where to source those ingredients, those chemicals. And let us make our own and make money from that. Brushes. Let us make, if we make toothpaste that goes with brushes, let us make our own toothbrushes and toothpick and brushes to comb our hair. The opportunities are many. You can tell I've turned a page and there's still 1.5 pages to go. There are many opportunities that can make many millionaires, that can create a lot of jobs. Instead of our young people bewailing the fact that there are no jobs, jobs can be created internally if we take up entrepreneurship. We get the opportunities. We can make watches, radios, and jewelry. And there's money in watches and jewelry. A lot of money in making jewelry. And just imagine the size of the market that exists if you make jewelry. and containers we've talked about it, transportation, also paint making. If we say there are opportunities in making bricks, bricks are for building. After you build a building, you need to paint it. There are opportunities in painting, and that also goes with door frames, window frames, gates, hardware stores, because it's much easier to have a hardware store so that builders can get all of these things in one place. And solar panels, these are, I would say, let's rather make them. We know that electricity is a problem in Nigeria, just like in South Africa and many a few other parts of the continent. Instead of importing them, let us be the net makers of these and install them. There's an opportunity there. There's also an opportunity in plastic garden sets and plastic, making stuff from plastic. You can make chairs, laundry baskets, brooms, brushes. There are also opportunities in cleaning products, dishwashing liquid, and laundry detergents. Towel making, we've talked about that. Also rugs. If 500,000 people move out of their parents' home and move into their own spaces, making rugs and making carpet is another opportunity that exists. And cushions, lamps, lights, and light fixtures, things that the people will need when they move into their own places. And also, because of the weather, because it's hot, making fence and ceiling fence, it's another opportunity. As long as you make them, they could be, of course, what we are not making, we have been importing. But if you just come in at the right price and just hit below your competitor's price, you are likely to attract local people. And also we need to support our local businesses, making fans, making geysers, making electric kettle, electric iron, and assembling air conditioners. I say assembly for a start, but with time we have to be able to make these things ourselves. And for a trained electrical engineer, this should not be something that is difficult. Really, I think we can make it. We can make ACs in Africa instead of importing a lot of them from China. I keep on, just imagine the size of the market that you have in Nigeria alone, and if you export to other African countries, 1.2 billion people on the continent, the size of the market that exists, that we are not taking advantage of. We have to benefit from these opportunities. And then going with a lack of electricity also would be the gas cylinders. I know we talk primarily about manufacturing. This is not necessarily manufacturing, but it is another good area, because if the electricity keeps going off when you are cooking, it's much better to resort to cooking with gas stove. And so supplying people with gas cylinders and making gas stoves. Instead of importing them, let us make gas stoves. That is another opportunity that exists. And portable lights with batteries, so that when the lights go off, you can have light. Just imagine if you are writing an exam or test tomorrow, you need to study and the lights go off. Also, candle making is another area that exists. Phones, laptops, we've talked about that let us make them. The size of the market is big, the demand keeps growing. Let us make them, let us benefit from that. We'd rather start with importing them. Another opportunity it is in agriculture. We need to improve our farming methods in Africa, and it is recorded that if we can improve the way we do agriculture, that has the potential over the years to raise 110 million people out of extreme poverty. We need to change the way we do agriculture by implements, use implements. And China is making these implements, and there are many engineers. Instead of just relying on China to buy these implements, there are many engineers locally in Nigeria who can make these farming implements. China, and I know I'm aware of this China, and there's one guy in South Africa. They're making small tractors, which makes owning a tractor a little bit cheaper because it's no longer big, and it's particularly useful when you're farming a small piece of land. And with that, we cannot treat a small tractor like a car. You're not going to take it to a gas station or filling station, but rather it gives rise to somebody else who can supply farmers with diesel, a small tanker, not a very big one, a small tanker where you can fill up, where the farmers can have small tanks for their tractors in their locality on their small piece of land, and then you just come and fill up their tanks. It is usually one form of an opportunity gives rise to another spin-off opportunity, but we need to use implements to improve productivity. Our farm yields are very low and we need to improve them, and by using implements, and we need to make these implements ourselves. Umbrellas, it's very hot, making umbrellas and sunglasses and caps, and also umbrellas for like when resting at the beach or at a picnic spot, something like that, making those big umbrellas. Our spectacles and frames, we've talked about that. There are about 5 million, not half a million, 5 million passenger cars in Nigeria. I think making batteries, car batteries, is another area where we can benefit from the existing opportunities that are there, and some other parts, car parts that are easy to make, like brake pads and stuff like that. Those we can make. Just imagine the number of engineers, mechanical engineers, and all that we have. Some of these things, they can be made locally. And also motorcycles. Motorcycles, we can make them quad bikes, we can make them speedboats. We talked a little about speedboats. We can make them locally. Let us make them locally or increase the production because they are used a lot. And the last opportunity I have here is swimming pools. The middle class is growing. Some of them some of them or many will need swimming pools. Digging swimming pools, giving them those nice swimming pools and maintaining them. And with the swimming pool also goes all the ingredients, the chemicals that clean them, the chlorine that clean and keep them clean, and killing the algae in the swimming pools. These are some of the opportunities we could come up with. Please, if you have stayed with us thus far, we thank you very much. Please do click on that Smashwords link, download a copy of your book on us being capable, being the agents of change that are needed, and being able and capable. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope this video has inspired you. You don't need to do a lot of things, just one or two types of businesses. If something has inspired you, it resonates with your passion, just Google it, go online and Google now the technical part, how to do these things, and please get started, make money and employ people. Let us make Africa great. Thank you so much. Bye.